Hey everyone. Yesterday, something so beautiful happened that was quite unexpected. A couple of months ago, I had written something, a comment on one of the YouTube videos I was watching, and it was about African history. And there was a lot of people commenting. I'm assuming they were Europeans. I don't know that for sure, but they were making derogatory comments about the history of Africa and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into all the details. And so I posted a comment that was equally acidic, um, you know, equally poisonous. Of course, at the time, I didn't feel that way. I felt like I was doing what I should be doing at that time. And so yesterday I got an email that someone had replied to my comment, and they called me an ignorant racist. And so I said, so I'm I replied by saying, so I'm an ignorant racist. Is that true? Not in my world. And I went on to say that I'm very happy to announce that I have dropped all of that white, black paradigm, all of that ideology that I had believed in for most of my life, because it's a waste of time. I just don't feel that, any one person is better than another person because of their skin color or their station in life or anything like that. I don't feel the need to justify the fact that because my skin is a certain color that I'm better than anyone else. I just don't see the point in that anymore, and it's a waste of time and energy. And so this person replied back and said, if you're truly, if you truly feel that way, then I have a lot of respect for you. And I replied back and said, honestly, I have dropped all of that. I just don't believe in it anymore. It's just not useful. It's just not relevant to me anymore. It's not important to me anymore. And it's against my true nature. My true nature is one of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity, which is serenity. And so he said, well, I applaud any man that can, admit when they're wrong, as if to say that, what he said wasn't wrong. But I won't quibble. I appreciated his sentiments. I replied back that I appreciated what he said, and I said, actually I'm a woman, but I appreciate what you had to say and your sentiments. Take care. And it was really quite beautiful and unexpected to me. I've been on this journey of dropping all of this stuff that I had learned from childhood, that I had believed was a part of my system of beliefs. A lot of it, much of it, I would say all of it was learned behavior. I picked it up from somewhere. I wasn't born that way. It's not my nature. And so I'm glad I was able to just drop it before I left this third dimensional realm. And I'm much happier because of dropping that. I'm a lot happier because of not believing the things that I used to believe. And the thoughts that used to come to my mind as far as this topic goes, I ignore them. I just, I question them. now, you know, um, white people are racist. Is that true? Now I can say no. Um, at one time I would have said yes. And then I would have had to ask myself the question, can you absolutely know that it's true? I mean, we're talking about a whole group of people. Every white person on the planet, every European on the planet. Are they racist? Can you absolutely know that that's true? No. How do you react when you believe the thought that every white person on earth is racist? I get stressed out, angry, frustrated, you know, and it just makes me feel horrible. It makes me feel defensive, and it makes me feel like I have to defend my race, you know, because I believe this thought. And then I would have to ask myself, who would you be without the thought every white person is racist? I wouldn't be stressed out. I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be frustrated. I wouldn't be defensive. I would be happy and free and loving and kind and compassionate. And that's where I am now. So, you know, as I said, I'm a lot happier because of this. And, you know, it all started, I think, a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we're in a different realm right now. Ever since, I think, December 21st or December 23rd, one of those dates, something shifted in the universe. And things are happening, to me at least, a lot quicker than they used to be. I'm realizing things a lot faster than I used to. And I'm picking up on, you know, the fact that if I'm going down the wrong road, I'm picking up on that a lot quicker than I used to be. It would take me years sometimes to get to a certain point that I needed to be intellectually. Now it's taking maybe days or weeks. So a couple weeks ago, it really clicked that I needed to drop this. It was first, the seed was planted though by this YouTube videographer named the 13th Son. Now, he's a cool guy. He really is. And I like a lot of what he has to say. And he planted the seed that, you know, everybody just needs to drop this white, black, I'm better, you're not better junk, you know. And, you know, I resisted it at first because I was like, well, you know, what are we supposed to do? Live in La La Land and pretend that this stuff doesn't go on? And that's not what it's about. So anyway, the seed was planted. And then I watched this movie called Django Unchained. I think it came out in 2012 or something, with Jamie Foxx and Leonardo DiCaprio with this big, beautiful apple-shaped head. He has the biggest apple-shaped head, and it's so beautiful. But anyway, I watched that movie, and I was like, okay, this was made by, what is the guy's name? But anyway, he's a European. And I believe he was trying to get the message across that all this junk that our ancestors went through, the enslavers and the enslaved, was ridiculous. And we don't need to keep living in that paradigm anymore. It just clicked with me. And so I started moving in that direction of just dropping that stuff. And then I watched the movie called The Help. Um, and I can't remember all the actors in that. Forgive me. They're beautiful people, though. It was a really good movie. Um, it was very good. And I got to see the ugliness of, this was a later period than Django, the ugliness of Jim Crow, and the beauty of it too, because there's ugliness and beauty in all of it. You know, the ugliness is Jim Crow. The beauty is how the people that were living under that brutal system, European and African, transcended that ugliness and turned it into something so beautiful. And then I watched this movie called Red Tails. Same thing, you know. Guys during World War II, you know, Africans living in America who wanted to serve their country in the armed forces with distinction. They wanted to serve. That was their, they loved that. They thought that was honorable, and it is honorable. I see it as honorable. And I see it as beautiful. The ugliness was some of the same Jim Crow mentality that was shown in The Help, was you know, surfaced in that movie as well. But the beauty is how they continued to do what they thought was right and honorable and good and just and beautiful. And they just transcended that ugliness. And I think that is what we are all here to do. It's not that, you know, you're so heavenly minded where you're no earthly good, meaning that, oh, everything is just light and beauty and there's no problems in the world and la 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 la. You know, it's not about that. It's not about ignoring the ugly, but it's seeing the beauty in it and how you can create beauty from that ugliness. That's my opinion anyway. And you know, I look back on my past videos. I have about 3. I haven't been posting as many as I would like to. I wanted to, when I started posting videos, I wanted to post 1 a day, you know, to kind of build up my portfolio, not for monetary purposes, but just as a service, you know. But I can see how I was still under that, I don't know what to call it. I was still under that mindset of viewing the world through a black and white lens, a I'm better than you because lens, you know. And many times I wanted to just privatize them and just keep them for my own record. Some of them are just hair updates for people that are into that, because I'm wearing my hair naturally, and a lot of African people are, you know, they like to see people who are on their journey and how they maintain their hair and stuff like that. But you know, I'm just myself, just a student, and I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm evolving into the person, into the self that I always wanted to be. I still have more learning and growing and evolving to do, and I believe it's a lifelong process. I think that one over time can become a teacher, but I think once you consider yourself a teacher, you may I'll put it towards me. Once I consider myself a teacher, I might think that my learning process has ended. Um, Hopefully that's not the case, but I would prefer to just refer to myself as a student because it keeps me humble. And I think that's a good place to be. It's genuine. So anyway, I just wanted to share that beautiful conversation I had with this person. I don't want to give his name. I believe he was a guy. I don't want to give his YouTube name, just because I don't think that's appropriate. But it was just a beautiful conversation. And, I've had other conversations in the past where I've espoused those previous views. And I mean, I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, arguing my point of view. I'm right, you're wrong. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm right and you're wrong. And when I think about those times, I see all the pain that I was putting myself through. Having this new shift in thinking has caused me a lot less pain and suffering. And when I shifted my thinking and by questioning my thoughts, I realized that most of my life I've been inflicting pain and suffering on myself. And I no longer see the desire to do that. So those are my thoughts anyway. I appreciate you listening. I hope you got something out of it. And I enjoyed sharing that with you. I hope to share more beautiful things with you. Take care.